Hey guys, first off, I'd like to thank Sky Sports for the use of this footage. I don't know if it belongs to Sky Sports. It looks, Sports and News Sport 24 HD. I don't know what that is, but the footage, doesn't belong to me. My use of it is protected under the Fair Use Act, and all that fun stuff. Secondly, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, leave a like, leave a dislike, or leave a nasty comment. I'll say some nasty shit back to you, no problem. And also, if you appreciate my content, hit me up on my Patreon in the description. And shoot me $1. Be a patron, but be a patron responsibly. If you can't afford it, or whatever, be responsible with your support, or just share my videos if you enjoy my content. Anyway, with all that out of the way, I'd like to thank my friend James. He's been bugging me about watching this fight for forever, yeah, about ever. And I heard that it was just such a snooze fest that I never wanted to watch it. I wanted to watch it when it was live. I can't remember what I was doing that weekend, but I never wanted to watch it. But thank you, James, for having my best interest in mind and telling me to watch this fight, because I should have just stopped being a little bitch and watched the fight, because the fight is dope. It was an amazing performance from Tyson Fury. I know he gets a lot of flack for not fighting, but it was brilliant. I loved his performance. So the first thing that I want to talk about, and we're going to go over, we're going to go over his guard. A lot of people, this is very derisive. People really don't understand this concept at all, and why it's important not to just be standing here like this with your hands up in a predictable fashion where your opponent knows how you're going to react to everything that you do, so they can walk you into punches. It's so important to have an active guard. Give your opponent different looks. Move your head, pivot, move off the line, and do all those things, because it makes your opponent think. It makes your opponent, feint them, give them different looks, because it makes your opponent think, and it stops them from just being able to blindly throw punches at you. And then once they start throwing punches at you and seeing how you react, they're able to set their offense up even better. So if I run in and I throw 1, 2, 3 at you, right? 1, 2, 3, and I see that you catch, and catch, right? You block all those shots, and now I'm gonna go, oh, let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, and you go catch, right? And now the third time I do it, I'm gonna fake that hook. I'm gonna fake that right hand, right? I'm gonna go boom, and then throw a hook instead, and you're gonna go to catch the right hand, and you're going to walk into the left hook instead. Because I was able to throw so many punches at you and get a read for your defense, I was able to make an adjustment to it. But if you're feinting your opponent, and we're going to see in this video, you're constantly giving him different looks and doing all this crazy stuff, your opponent's not going to have as many opportunities to gain information about your defense. They're also not going to have as many opportunities just to throw punches at you, to walk you into punches. And it just puts them so far behind in the information race. And that's what boxing is all about, is understanding what's going on in the ring, paying attention to what you're doing, what your opponent's doing, what your opponent's trying to do, and how that lines up with what you're trying to get them to do. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Watch Tyson Fury with his active guard. Look at how much he's feinting. This is right at the beginning of the round. Feinting, coming in. He's got that little hook right there. Feinting again, going with the hook. Immediately he notices that Klitschko is trying to catch the jab and have a jab battle with them, right? So he starts turning it into a hook instead of a jab. But look at how active he is with his guard, right? He's going to be able to stop Klitschko. Look at this. Look at how he's feinting him, and he's able to keep Klitschko from throwing any punches at him simply by feinting. He's not even doing anything, but simply by feinting, giving him different looks. And Klitschko is kind of lost. Klitschko is very slow. Look at how all of these feints, right? Every time he steps forward, feint, right? Feint. Klitschko has to react. Feint. Whoops. Klitschko reacts. Klitschko reacts. Klitschko reacts. Klitschko reacts. And every time that you get your opponent to react to a feint, again, feint, and Klitschko takes a step back, right? Every time you get your opponent to react to a feint, you're creating space between you and your opponent. It's kind of like if you're a football player and you need someone, you're the running back and you need someone to block for you, right? Every time they bump into that guy, boom, they create this, an inch of space, 2 inches of space for you to get farther to the goal line, right? And that's exactly what you're doing when you control them, when you feint them. You're controlling them. You're forcing them to give you space when they don't want you, when they don't want to. You're forcing them to think about things and to stop setting up their offense. Like, look at how effective this is against him. Tyson Fury's in the corner right now. And look at how easy he's able to get out of the corner simply by feinting and then giving kind of a throwaway hook right there. Now again, moving on, feinting. Look at how he's able to keep control of Vladimir Klitschko. And Vladimir Klitschko is not able to set his offense up because he doesn't know if Tyson Fury's setting up a punch. He doesn't know if Tyson Fury's just moving away. He doesn't know what Tyson Fury's doing, so he's not able to set his punches up. Now, in the third round, he does the exact same thing from the southpaw position and just completely shuts Klitschko down. Watch how he's going to be feinting him, giving him different looks, moving off the line, and he does it with his hands down. Here he goes right here, giving him different looks, using that lead hand a little bit. Now he's just kind of dancing, feinting. Look at how effective this feint is right here. He sets down, steps forward, and Klitschko takes a step back. Simply by feinting his opponent, he's able to create space and stop Vladimir from capitalizing on the fact that he's in the corner. Now look at all this head movement that he gives him, feinting with the lead hand, right? Just giving him a little probe, right? Shuffling to the right, makes Vladimir reset, shuffling to the left, faking with the jab, getting Vladimir to take a step back and try to counter him with that hook. But he's able to control and basically tell Klitschko exactly what he wants to do simply by being active in his guard and not just standing there and allowing his opponent to throw punches at him. And on top of that, right, he's here, takes a step, turns away from the shot, steps, flash the lead hand, and because he's so active and he's constantly doing this over and over again, he's like, oh, what am I doing? Oh, what am I doing? And he's able to sneak that left hand to the body in on Klitschko. Simply because he has an active guard, he's able to hide that punch. Beautiful use of the active guard. I suggest everyone go watch this fight and just be like, oh, wow. I read one of the comments and they said, I read it while the video was buffering, and like, this is a classic fight. And I was like, I heard it was garbage. And after watching the fight for 30 seconds, I went back to that comment and gave it a thumbs up. Because it really was, I still haven't seen the rest of the fight. I've seen the first 4 rounds. And I'm going to watch them all after I talk about the film study, or after this video, I'm going to go watch them. But just absolutely amazing stuff from Tyson Fury. He's really impressive. A very, very talented fighter. Now, we're going to get into his offense, and what I want to talk about when I'm talking about offense is how you layer your offense. And there's a video in the description if you don't know what this term means or how I use it. It's all the ways that you use feinting, you use probes, you use other punches, and you use head movement to hide what your real offense is. One such punch, right? Very popular. Canelo uses it now. Floyd Mayweather used to use it, but he would come in with a jab, step with the jab, step with the jab, right? And then once your opponent starts catching the jab, they're expecting the jab to come, so you step, they go to catch the jab, and you go around the side with a left hook instead. And what you do is you're using the jab to layer your offense to hide the hook, right? So it's basically the little mind game that you're playing to get your opponent out of position from defending the real attack. So as we see here, Tyson Fury feinting, and real quick, he feints here and goes down, and he sees that Klitschko is trying to counter him. If you see Klitschko's left hand, when he feints, he sticks his jab out there, right there. And then Tyson Fury's like, oh, he's trying to counter me. So now I'll feint him again, right? And now Klitschko is just trying to cover his body, right? And he's not countering. And once he's feinted Vladimir Klitschko enough, he's able to shoot that jab to the body for free. Let's just watch it one more time. But again, feinting and hiding and figuring out how his opponent is going to defend themselves, what layer of defense they're using. And I have a video in the description on that, on defensive layers as well. Go ahead and check that out if you haven't seen it before. But Klitschko looking to counter, right? The counter is being taken away from him because of the active guard and all of the extra feinting that Tyson Fury is giving him. He's able to make it really ineffective for him. And again, feinting, shooting the jab, feinting, feinting, and then coming in with the right hand. Now, very basic offense, right? He is using feints, but at the moment he's not really reacting to what his opponent is giving him, right? He's not making his opponent make mistakes. He's just noticing right here that Klitschko is not countering, so he feels comfortable shooting those shots. He does notice that Klitschko is pulling away, so he shoots that probing jab, that second probing jab, and then tries to go over the top of the kind of parrying style that Klitschko has. Klitschko has a very bad habit of pushing both of his hands away from his face when he's being attacked, and Tyson Fury tries to take advantage of that. But so far, aside from the feinting, right, very basic offense. Again, though, he very active guard, and it makes it very hard to know when he's going to attack you. But we're going to get into a little bit more of that again. More feinting, shooting the jab, feinting, feinting, right? But he's using the same layer. Now, this is the part that is a little concerning for Tyson Fury. In spite of the fact that he has this wonderful active guard, he winds up becoming very easy to time. And the reason for that is because, if we notice, watch how he feints off the front foot. So he steps on the front foot, steps on the front foot, steps on the front foot. And notice how every time he does that, he's getting a reaction from Klitschko. And he's having a very difficult time landing that jab against Klitschko. Again, feinting with that front foot, feinting with that front foot. And every time he does it, Klitschko is reacting. Klitschko's like, oh, I know this is coming. I know that's his timing. And eventually, he's able to walk Tyson Fury into a counter jab because Tyson Fury is only fighting off of that front foot, right? A very common problem in boxing is with that feinting, right? We saw with Robert Easter and Mikey Garcia able to time him with that right hand and stop Robert Easter from setting his punches up or being as comfortable coming forward. We saw it with Canelo and Golovkin. The first 4 rounds were predicated off of that. And by the way, that more videos on Golovkin and Canelo, or actually, videos for their second fight are coming out. I'm going to be doing those at the end of this week, and then basically for the rest of the month, I'm going to be doing Golovkin-Canelo videos. I'm so excited for that until I run out of stuff to talk about. But anyway, this kind of style of timing, right? See, if you notice, he feints him right there. The feints are still working, right? Because he has to respect that a punch might come, so he's able to still continue to control Klitschko and stop Klitschko from throwing punches at him. But he feints. Klitschko's easily able to time him and block these shots very easily because Tyson Fury's only fighting off of that one timing. And then again, walking him into the counter jabs, boom, because he's only fighting off of that timing. That's a very big problem for him. And again, coming forward with those shots, Klitschko's easily able to defend them by getting his arms up. But now, interesting, after Klitschko is starting to time him with that jab on that same timing, Tyson Fury's like, oh, okay, so he's jabbing, he's countering with me, and he starts landing the right hand over the top and coming in with it. So setting traps on his own timing. And now this is fascinating. This is what you call craft, right? Because if we notice that he has this flaw, right? Boom, right? He has this flaw. As soon as he picks up on the fact that his opponent has picked up on this flaw as well, he makes an adjustment and starts countering those adjustments that his opponent is making. Now, again, Klitschko doing the same thing. Whoops, went too far back. With blocking the shots, right? Getting his hands up, block, right? And getting away from those shots. And then Tyson Fury making an adjustment using a throwaway right hand, getting Klitschko to turn his shoulder, try to hide his chin, right? Doing the right thing. And then Tyson Fury makes an adjustment and comes in kind of with a kind of Kovalev kind of jab, right? A 1-2-1, right? And coming in with that shot and landing a free shot because he knows what his opponent's defense looks like for his style of shots. Then again, Again, another craft. So he feints him. Then he feints hard on that front foot again. Klitschko bites on it, thinking it's going to be a jab. And Tyson Fury counters him with a left hook and, kind of throws him off the line with it. He still kind of gets touched by it, but it shows that Tyson Fury, he understands this flaw in his game, and he's able to fight around it. And set traps on it. So that's fascinating. That's exactly what you want from a fighter, especially one who has a really active guard. If they start timing you on your active guard, your ability to set punches up off of it. And Tyson Fury does that very well too. I haven't gotten to the rest of the fight, so maybe I'll do another video on Tyson Fury and more of his craft. But so far, even though his offense starts off really basic, he has the ability to take that basic offense once it starts not working, and his opponent is able to use their defense to create a layer of defense that's effective against it, right? Timing the counter punches, right? Timing him, boom, right? To set traps on them, to use that timing against his opponents. And that's what you call craft. Now, getting to Tyson Fury's defense. And again, feinting. He steps forward on the front foot. He gets Vladimir Klitschko to shoot that jab. He slips it and shoots a jab to the body. Again, another adjustment to understanding the fact that his opponent is starting to time him on those shots. Now, we're going to look at Tyson Fury's defense. Now, most of his defense is predicated on the fact that his opponent can't find him anyway. Not just footwork, right? People call walking around the ring footwork. But the idea that he's feinting you so much that you don't know when he's going to move, you don't know when he's going to attack, you don't know when he's going to move off the line, and he keeps you guessing, that's the most of his defense, is his active guard, and it works very well for him, keeping his opponents from being able to throw punches at him in the first place. But what happens when they get him in the corner? He starts feinting, and look at how he throws this kind of throwaway hook, and that gives him the space to get out of the corner. And then feinting again, right? And then feinting. And then look at how he throws this throwaway hook again, and then he's able to take back the center of the ring, right? And now he's in the middle of the ring. Now, one part of it, the next layer of his defense, or the next defense that he uses is, head movement, slipping punches. So as he catches this jab right here, he parries it, and then Klitschko comes forward with another shot, and Tyson Fury has what I usually call defensive responsibility. He understands that another punch is very likely to come, right? And he kind of ducks this one. Now, I am not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of ducking the right hand from a right-handed opponent. I'm just not a fan of ducking a shot like that anyway. I think that you should always be transferring your weight. So if your opponent comes with that first jab, you catch it, right? And then you think the right hand is coming, you want to transfer your weight, turn your body, get your weight on your left leg, and let that right hand sail over your shoulder. You can come back with the hook here, come back with your own counter, right? So you catch and then turn into a right hand, right? Or you catch that jab, and then you can turn away from the next right hand, right? So your head is here. Well, if I do it here, maybe you can see it on camera. So you catch here, and then when you turn away from the right hand, your head moves completely, basically a full body length away from where it was. And then because you transferred your weight from here to here, you can pivot off the line and still find yourself in punching position. But with Tyson Fury ducking the shot right here, he's not able to come back with any shots. And look at how he comes straight up, right? Not only does he come straight up, but his left hand is low. He's moving off the line, right? The shot comes, he ducks the next shot, but he comes straight up. And that's something that I think is very worrisome. Now, it's kind of counterintuitive to be like, oh, I'm really worried about him fighting a guy who has a great right hand, because when he fought this other guy with a great right hand, a greater right hand, he made a lot of fundamental mistakes. Interestingly enough, Klitschko, one of the greatest right hands in heavyweight history, wasn't able to catch Tyson Fury with it at all, in spite of the fact that he was constantly able to use his jab, probe, to get him out of position, right? But he would wind up smothering himself. He couldn't figure out, if Tyson Fury was going to stay on the line with him or he was going to move to the left or to the right, But this style of defense, ducking the right hand, I think is a big mistake from him. And I think it's something that he needs to work on. Obviously, if your opponent is never able to capitalize on it, you don't have to work on it, you know. But eventually, if somebody does enough film study on him, they're going to be able to pick up on it. Now, again, right here, the jab comes, he ducks, and then he comes straight up. But he does move off the line. He does create some space. So he is moving back, but he's moving back in a straight line. And as we saw, I can't remember who we were watching, who I did film study on. But when you go in a straight line against Wilder, and that's why we're doing this film study, is to see how he's going to fight against Wilder. And we haven't done Wilder's film study. We'll be doing that tomorrow. Wilder will chase you. He will find that right hand if you move in a straight line. But getting back to Tyson Fury, right after that right hand comes, or those jabs come, he moves off the line after ducking and coming straight up. And then he goes right back to being on the ropes, right? And then goes to feinting his opponent. And again, his defense is his active guard and how he's constantly moving his head and feinting, giving his opponents different looks. And now Klitschko thinks, oh, he's going to punch me. He's going to punch me. Oh, and he feints him. He's able to use this kind of throwaway left hook right here to continue to create space. And now all of a sudden he's in the middle of the ring. Now, right after this sequence, right, he moves around and he winds up in the corner, right, feinting him. And then again, just straight up ducks what would have been a right hand after the first shot and then comes straight up, you know. And I think that might wind up being a very problematic for him against Wilder, because Wilder is a very right-hand-centric fighter. He doesn't really have a great left hook. He's looking to kind of land straight punches. But I think that's a problem that Fury is going to have to work on. If he comes straight up against Wilder, Wilder is going to be looking to throw that right hand, and it doesn't matter if he hits you with the knuckles. It doesn't matter if he hits you with the inside of the hand. It doesn't matter if he hits you with the forearm. He's gonna hurt you. He's gonna wing that arm, and he's gonna hurt you. It's not going to be a legal punch, right? Technically a legal punch, but if he catches you with this forearm and you go down, they're going to call it a knockdown. And again, the jab comes, he ducks, but he does a great job of moving off the line in this regard, continuing with his defense. And then again, getting put in the corner immediately by Klitschko, and then feinting his way out of the corner with his active guard and his feinting and his throwaway punches. Now, I didn't really talk too much about this, but look at how he throws this hook, right? Feints him, throws this hook, and Klitschko says, a punch. And he has to react to it. He doesn't know if it's going to be a hook or a jab or if it's going to be another shot that sets up the right hand, because of the fact that he doesn't have any control over Tyson Fury, right? He's not the one feinting Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is the one who has control of all the space between them, because he's the one feinting, he's the one moving, giving them different looks, doing all this crazy stuff. And Tyson Fury is able to feint and move out of the corner that Klitschko so effortlessly put him into, right? Now look at how he's in the corner. He's able to feint, use one throwaway hook, use a throwaway jab to the body, give his opponent different looks, duck down, right? And then throw another hook and another jab. Whoops. Boom. And then all of a sudden, Tyson Fury has nullified all of that hard work that Vladimir Klitschko used to get him into the corner. And all of this, almost everything that you saw during the course of this film study, is based off of Tyson Fury's active guard, his ability to fight on the front foot, his ability to move off the line and get off the line on his right foot, right? But the way that he's ducking, constantly giving his opponents different looks, and making them think, right? And the idea here is that Tyson Fury has all the control of his opponent. Anytime he needs a little bit of space, right? Anytime he wants a second to breathe, he just has to go like this. And he gets it. And the idea is that fighters that don't do that, fighters that are just like this, they don't have any way to create that space with their opponent. And also, it's really easy to predict when they throw punches. How are you going to time a guy who's going like this, right? Boom, coming in, or setting traps on that stuff? How much easier to time a guy who's not doing that, who's doing this, right? Every time they move their hand, they're throwing a punch, right? But a guy who has his hands down, anyway, you guys get the gist of it. Anyway, fascinating fight. Fascinating that a fighter at the heavyweight level is able to do this and keep this up for 12 rounds. Um, um, yeah. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. This video was supposed to be really quick, but it's 25 minutes long. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm going to probably do another film study on Tyson Fury and his offense. It is kind of a basic offense, but the fact that he's able to, off of the basicness of it, he's able to set traps once his opponents figure out how basic it is. And Vladimir Klitschko is no slouch. No slouch, you guys. And he was able to time Vladimir Klitschko's timings of him to create more offense and to keep Vladimir Klitschko off balance, basically. Break his rhythm constantly with those hooks, right? And that's what this kind of stuff is doing, right? Breaking his opponent's rhythm, right? Creating space with these throwaway shots to get off of the ropes and to create space and to have a static layer of defense that's outside of the realm of his safety, But I'm not a fan of his defense, though. Aside from that, once you get close to him, the fact that he kind of ducks the right hand and looks to get away from it like that, I'm not a big fan of that. I think that's something that he definitely needs to work on, especially before he fights Deontay Wilder. And I'll talk about that more when I talk about the actual prediction for the fight. And I'll talk about that a little bit when I do the film study on Deontay Wilder, which I think will come tomorrow, unless I do another film study on Tyson Fury. If I see any more really cool or really interesting sources of offense from Tyson Fury, I want to highlight those and make sure I talk about them too. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and hit my Patreon up if you appreciate my content. And yeah, thanks, guys.